a Tuesday afternoon and come back into the chemistry department, and the students have been involved in doing the analytical work, and we're very grateful for all the support of the chemistry department. I know that many of you might be struggling with that 3.1 investigation and how it should be run, but for us this was a really good way of trying to look at doing that assessment. The students were really engaged, and over the next 2 days, the Wednesday and the Thursday, we had a very good time trying to look at all of the different problems that came up and trying to solve them, and the students responded really well. So there's Richard, he's got silver nitrate in that urette, and he's just finished and he's writing down something in his logbook. I should just mention something else too from another point of view. So Richard's contributing information here to our project, but there are other projects that are operated through the chemistry department, and some of you may have heard of the Healthy Harbour Watchers group, which does analytical work to do with the harbour and trying to assess it on an ongoing basis. And Andrew Innes there with Dave Patchett from St Hilda's and Murray Vickers from Columba College are involved in that too. And they go into the chemistry department on a Saturday and look at measuring different parameters like nutrients and chlorophyll A, etc. So again, the chemistry department really involved in its community and linking with it. So here are some. These are Richard's results, and we've got salinity up the vertical axis here and samples. Sample sites from 1 near the mouth of the lagoon through the middle of the lagoon, and number 3 is at the headwaters, and he's got a salinity difference from here to here to here, so he's got some sort of a trend, and this is mirrored by the orange line. It looks yellow but it's orange above it, which was done by a conductivity meter that was calibrated. So there's a similar trend there, and that's an example of Richard's results. The 380 geographers have been looking at nutrients in the stream, and what they did was go out on 3 consecutive weekends, and they were there from 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock, and they measured every hour, so they had to get their deck chairs and put their feet up and take samples every hour and stay there. These are the median values for one day, the 18th and the 5th. This is the total oxidised nitrogen in the vertical axis, and the horizontal axis are the sites going up the stream from the mouth. So we're not in the lagoon now, we're in the mouth itself of the stream, and we're going up the catchment, and you can see that there is this overall increase in the total oxidised nitrogen concentration, and those are all above the threshold for the prediction of aquatic organisms, that is aquatic ecosystems, that is around about 444 micrograms per litre. This is some work from chemistry student Jason Fishel, who was a chap from Pennsylvania, and I think he's just left us to go back home. And we looked at the nutrient levels in little tributaries to the mainstream. What we were trying to find out about was just where the conduits were for pollutants coming into the mainstream, so that we could look at mitigation measures. And the top graph that you can see, the top line, this is again the total oxidised nitrogen up on the vertical axis, and sites 1 through to 7 along the horizontal axis. You can see a big difference between the first day, where there was still some runoff coming off the land from earlier rainfall events, and the second day, where we had a particularly dry spell all the way up to our measurement. But the really nice thing about it is you can see the same pattern irrespective of that flow, change in flow. And so that probably says something very much about the land use in those different little subcatchments of those tributaries, and we need to go in there and try and link that up with land use and human interaction. College of Education students, you will also know, if you're a teacher, that we're starting to face issues like how we're going to integrate the new curriculum into our classrooms and our schools. And I'm proposing to introduce, well, I will introduce, of course, next year at Kaika Valley, Science 302. So it's not biology, physics or chemistry, it's just going to be a science subject that students will take, and I've already got 14, so we're away. And we start off with a question, urban stream catchments, are they drains or sustainable ecosystems? And from that, we're trying to develop into the different subject areas that could be available in any school. And I'll be teaching it from the science perspective and education for sustainability perspective, but there are other options for us in history. There's a marvellous history that I've already alluded to about the stream that we can look at. There are mathematics issues that can be looked at too, health and physical education and geography, and there are probably others as well. And so one of the things we did was to go out to an area near our school. In fact, it's in the school grounds here, but it's unused, and I'm hopeful that we might be able to use this piece of ground. So I have to talk to the Board of Trustees, and haven't yet, to whether they'd be happy for me to develop that area. But the idea is to try and produce a green zone there for biodiversity right in the school, and to have not only us involved in managing that area, but also other schools. So we'll develop it for biodiversity and food gathering and all sorts of other learning opportunities as well. This is Henry Koch here from the Dunedin Environment Centre, and he's taking those students that I ran a seminar for, so these people are about to be teachers next year, and he's explaining to them about gardening in an urban environment, something that's going to be very important for us as issues like carbon miles become more and more important. One of the big problems for us all in professional life is this business about time, and how we're constrained by time all of the time, so that we find it hard to do new things. And what I've been trying to look at is how we can give people payback for their involvement. How can I make it worth their while to be involved? Sometimes they get a feel-good factor from just being involved in some sort of program. That's all well and good, but sometimes that lingers, dwindles over time. So how can you try and support that? And I've been thinking about types of environmental credit systems that could operate within the catchment area that people would earn for action for the environment. And in simple terms, it could be tree planting or rubbish pickup credits. These things would have to be verified and registered, and maybe a local council would be a good group to administer that. But I think they should also have meaningful payback, and the meaningful payback could be through council or regional, city council or regional council rates relief. And also for students, it could contribute to qualifications or degree components. So this bit at the bottom strikes here a wee bit at just what we want our students to be when they leave our schools or universities. Academic rigour is all very well and good, and I would support that to the maximum as well, but could we put in some more community service type of work that is recognised and is part of their education as well? Just something for me that's particularly exciting that hasn't got off the ground this year, but I wanted to show you because, again, one of the biggest problems in our urban societies is to try and link with each and every individual in a household sitting somewhere in all of the suburbs that are there. And I've been started off developing with Sam Mann in the Information Technology Department at Otago Polytechnic. They've done some work with us setting up the website for our real-time monitoring station we have in the stream in 2004, and I approached Sam again to see whether we could do a wee bit more with this type of thing. What I'm trying to do here is to develop a way of communicating with people in the catchment environment, and also a way of housing all of that information that we're collecting, our chemical information or whatever it is, and provide it so that we can assess on an ongoing basis how good we are at living sustainably in our catchment area. So there would be different levels of information in this virtual space, including information that people contribute for living, working, playing, learning, moving, and natural features. Features like the geology, of course, an all-important area of science that we must cover, should be in there as well. And also see the Maori history of the area. So someone who lives at this bubble site number 9 has come on and they've provided some text information about themselves and what they've been doing. They've also maybe uploaded a video or some pictorial information, and it's all a way of connecting to them, getting people involved with the environment in which they live, and particularly because it starts to target, if you structure it right, global environmental change issues in a local way. So building learning communities, what have I learned? Here's the key point. The real thing is having the time to sit around and restructure what we're all doing for mutual benefit. So if you can sit around with someone and get that type of approach driven, there'll be mutual benefits all around. Thank you very much.